This episode is sponsored by Lake Monster Details, producing the legacy line of Don's Light and Magic parts, offering upgrade parts and decals for accuracy, special effects, and lighting. Visit www.lakemonsterdetails.com and make it glow.
Hey guys, Will here. Welcome back to Model from the Engine Show. This is episode 10 of my original series 1350 Enterprise build. And sorry I didn't put anything out last week, but I've had some real trials here, and this kit has been testing my patience. It's been a pretty smooth build, straightforward build up to this point, but once you get to the Shuttle Bay, if you haven't done one yet, when you get to the Shuttle Bay, it kind of gets a little dicey from there. At least for me, it did. You know, last video I was trying to get my Shuttle Bay together so I could get the secondary hull sealed up, and I'd gotten to the point where I was about ready to just say forget it, just put the closed doors on it and be done with it. Well, I appreciate everybody that gave me support and pushed me to try to continue my Shuttle Bay build with the way it was, which I did. I tried. I tore it down and built it back probably 3 times before I was finally happy with the end result. So I got the Shuttle Bay all done and was ready with it. I had my small my 1350 Shuttle Bays or shuttles that I ordered from Shapeways, which came in, and they look great. They work great. I had an SMD in there for that. It was all lit up. The problem came with trying to fit the Shuttle Bay into the back of the secondary hull. Now I should say that before I even put any lights or any modifications or anything to the Shuttle Bay, I dry fitted it. And even with nothing done to it, you still ended up with a gap when you tried to put the 2 halves of the secondary hull together. There was a gap because it was just so bulky. It wouldn't quite fit in there. So the first thing I did was I went in and I pulled out, you'll remember that I used the UV resin for my windows, so I don't really need the inserts. So what I did was I pulled those inserts out, and once I pulled those inserts out, it fit perfect. I was able to get it in there, and you know, the seams would close up fine, no problem. But then I added the lights, and once I added the lights to it, I couldn't get the secondary of the hull to seal up completely at all. I mean, it was a pretty significant gap. So I went in and I then, you know, as the instructions say, and this is the issue with them calling this a plug-and-play kit, because if it's a plug-and-play kit, you know, a beginner modeler should be able to take that kit, and they shouldn't have to do all the changes that you have to do to make that kit work. And so what I did was I dremeled out the back end here and thinned out the plastic so I could try to fit the Shuttle Bay in better with the lights. And I thinned it out so much that I actually, see if this shows up, I actually drilled through the hull, or dremeled it so thin at the hull. I made a hole breach, and I went in with the UV resin and fixed it, but at that point I was like, okay, oh, that's as thin as I'm making it, because now it's to the point where this back end is just so thin that I'm afraid of cracking it if I put too much pressure on it. So I don't like that you have to do that at all in order to make this light kit work with it. But even with doing that, I still couldn't get the hull to close up all the way. The bottom part would close, but the top part would still have a small gap in it. And but I figured I could make it work. So then I did my light test before I wanted to finalize it, and the way the lights are set up on this kit, I couldn't get it to light up evenly on these back windows, and you could tell that these were definitely dimmer than these front ones. Now sure, I could go in and I could have painted these black and just said, well, those lights aren't on. I didn't want to do that though. I actually want as many of these windows lit up as possible on this model. And so I tried some different things to try to get it to work out. I put some SMDs in the back section, and still wasn't getting, well, the SMDs were bright white and these are more like a warm white, so you could tell that they were obviously different lights. And I could order some warm white SMDs, and I will eventually, but I don't want to sit here and keep delaying my build waiting for parts. So, I fiddled with it for a while, and I just kept trying to get it to fit, and I couldn't. So finally, you know what? It just comes a point when I got to call it quits and just take a different path. So I'm sorry, to you guys that pushed for me to complete the Shuttle Bay, but I ended up just going the way that Boyd did it and just hacked open the Shuttle Bay and put my lights in there and modified the lights so that it would just light up where I need it light at. And so that's where I'm at with it. I tried to make the Shuttle Bay work out, but I just did not like the way it was turning out. And I've been delaying this build. It's just become too much of a stressor, So anyway, that being said, give me a minute. I'll put you on the table. We'll see where I'm at and go from there. Give me a minute. All right, guys. So here's where I'm at with everything. I've got all the wiring is installed at this point. If you look up here at the end of the pylon, what I've done is this is the wire that connects to my buzzards, and this magnet wire that I've run up here is what's going to connect to the warp chiller grills, so I can control the lights for those separately. So I've got those run up through and run down the pylon and out the front of the ship here, so I can get those all wired up when I get it together. So that's done to both sides. The other side's over here. So that's all ready to go. I've done all my light testing. All the lights are good. I will mention one thing though. One thing I've been running into with these boards, and I had this issue with the board in the saucer section as well. You want to test your lights, but then it becomes an issue where you need to pull these out. And even if you push in the pins, it's kind of hard for me to get this close to the camera, but there's the pins that lock in are on each side here. And even pushing those in, I've had an issue with these connections under here where they're soldered at coming loose. And it makes the connection inconsistent. So what I had to do on one connection on the saucer board, and what I've had to do on two connections on this board, I've had to come back in and very carefully with my soldering iron reinforce the soldering on the bottom of this board. And I had an issue with those just coming loose. So, and that's with being careful, just trying to pry up at these, and push these in as I release it. But just be aware, I don't know what the revisions are going to be to the new kit that they're working on now. I'm hoping they make a lot of improvements and that it truly is plug and play, because I would not say that this kit is plug and play. You've got that issue. You've got the issue with it, like I just mentioned, having to hollow out the back end of the secondary hull in order to make that lighting kit fit with the Shuttle Bay. And then you've got these wires here that run up your pylon that they just say twist together, but you're not going to want to just twist these together. You're going to want to solder them like I did. So I soldered these and put the heat shrink tubing on it, because I don't trust just twisting those together. If you get your model together and those come apart, then you just don't have lights up there. So, but anyway, that's one issue I'd run into. And then here's my hacked up Shuttle Bay now. I just took the lights that were meant to go around the back, and I put them inside the Shuttle Bay here to light up those windows on the side. And additionally, the other issue I had too with lighting, with the way the Shuttle Bay was sitting in there and the lighting kit is, you've got these three lights up here which get absolutely no light, because you've got this one wire that would run across the top of the Shuttle Bay and it would block that. So I want those to light up nice. That's my main concern. I wasn't too concerned about having a viewable Shuttle Bay on it. Maybe on another build I'll try it again. When they come out with the revision on this lighting kit, this Polar Lights lighting kit, and they re-release it, I'm going to take a look at it, and we'll see how it looks. If it looks better, I might get it and try another build with it. But right now, if I was to do this kit again, I'd probably do a ten of controls build, because I'm just not very happy with this at all. But we'll make it work. So But here's my closed doors on the Shuttle Bay. I've already got the control room up there, and I've already put my coat of my hull color on there, so that's all ready to go on the back. And in addition, I've got the those lights on the back of the tail fan section there, or fan tail, whatever whichever way it goes, that go on there, so those will light up. And I really like, this is the photo etch part on it, and I really like the photo etch part because it's real easy to paint this. Where's my flashlight? To paint this and get it to light up nice. Let's see if I can get that to show up on camera. But yeah, you can see the lights on there. But the thing about having the photo etch part is you don't have to be so precise about painting it. You can see it's a little, I don't know if it'll show up on camera on this side, but you can probably tell it's a little sloppy on that side because all I had to do was paint the general area. Again, with my Tamiya clear paints. So you're going to use I use the Tamiya X27 red on these two outsides. And then I used my X26 orange on these two inside lights. And then of course I used the green, which is Tamiya X25 for the center one. But you do that and you don't have to be perfect about it, and then you just take this photo etch part and put it over top of it, and it blocks out everything else. So all your light blocking and everything's done on that. So I'm really excited to see how that lights up. I have done a test light on it, it looks good, but once the model is complete, it'll be nice to see. So I've got those sections done, and they're ready to go in. So I'm pretty much about ready to put my secondary hull together. I just need to get this shuttle bay in place and work out a couple other things with the wiring. I need to finish up some of the wiring as far as getting it hot glued down so it doesn't slide out of place and block anything. But so we're just about there, just about ready to put the secondary hull together. And then hopefully at that point, once I get the secondary hull together, this will kind of flow out pretty quickly and nicely. The next thing we'll be working on for this tail fan section, or tail fan, fan tail. The next thing we'll be working on for that is the light that that goes over the top here. And I've got a photo etch part for that, and I've got to see how that works out with that piece. Because I want to see how that lights up. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. I've also got to take my Bussard collectors apart and paint this part here, the housing for it, and get that all painted up and matching the hull color. And so anyway, that's where I'm at. It's a pretty short episode. It's just I wanted to catch up everybody. I didn't want to go by another week without letting everybody know what was going on. Again, it sucks that I've had to take this route with this, but and I know people had made this work. It's just for whatever reason the way I was doing it, and it could have been the additional details I had added. May have added a little bit of bulk to it, and that may have made it harder to fit this part in. But you know, once you make those modifications, it's kind of hard to go back. So at that point, it was only way forward I could see was to take it down, and we'll just do the closed doors on this build, and maybe on a future build I'll do the open ones. As long as I can do it, be happy with it, because that's what it's all about, making myself happy. So anyway, again, I thank everybody for tuning in. I know there wasn't a whole lot of useful information in this episode, but I mainly wanted to put it out there and let everybody see where I was at and give an update. But again, thank you to everybody that subscribes. If you don't subscribe, you don't have to subscribe, but if you find any information in this episode or video series useful, please hit the like button below. And again, thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, keep modeling.